last night Michael went to grab some candy. I don't know what they are because the bags all feel the same to me. But yeah, I think we're ready for the little trick-or-treaters tonight. I got a big bowl that I'm gonna pour it all in, and excited to hear the little kids' voices say twinkle tweet. So once this goes out, I guess I'll reload. I'm hoping we get kids this year. Yeah. To carve the pumpkins this year, and I tried an experiment to see if I did the design in puffer paint first and let it dry, and if I can trace it with the knife. It was just too dangerous, so I let the hubby do that part. But this is the aftermath of some of the guts that came out, and I did clean the seeds. So even though I can't show you how to carve a pumpkin because I just can't, it just is, it is what it is, and I accepted it. I can at least show you how I make pumpkin seeds. Let's go. This is the first batch we made. We have 2 pumpkins this year, and it was one of the pumpkins for the first batch, and 2 pumpkins is enough to carve. And what we put on these is olive oil, salt, pepper, and chili pepper. So it has a really nice kick to it. Now, the second pumpkin that we had, I'm gonna make it like taco seasoning flavor, which is pretty cool. So after I cleaned them and all that good stuff, I put them in a bowl with a paper towel. Try to soak up as much water as possible. And I have a cast iron pot. And I'll have my hubby turn on the oven to 350 and bake. And I usually bake these for about 15-20 minutes because I like mine's really crunchy. So this is the olive oil I use. So I just poured all the sunflower seeds in, and I'm going to pour a little bit of olive oil on top. I'm not going to put any salt and pepper because the taco seasoning, the regular taco seasoning that you use when you're making tacos, has enough sodium in it. So I'm just going to pour that on top. And I'm going to mix it with a spoon. These are a little slippery. And then spread them out like that. Hopefully I distribute it well. Oven it goes. I'll have my hubby do that part as well. It's a yummy snack. Pumpkin seeds are great, especially if you're vegan or a vegetarian, either one, but a great source of protein. So if you haven't tried pumpkin seeds and put it in your diet, definitely do so because it has really good benefits: magnesium, potassium, protein, low carbohydrates. It can basically have very low sodium. It just depends on how much salt you put on your seeds. You can basically eat them unsalted too if you want to. But yeah, I love this snack. Roxy's costume, also from the dollar store. Just bought some toilet paper for $1. 4 rolls came in it. So her costume basically cost 25 cents. She's a doggy mummy! And I just used toilet paper and wrapped it around her. As you can tell, she hates it. So I'm gonna let her take it off. But I just thought it was adorable and she's cute. Hey guys, so I decided to be an alien for Halloween. What do you guys think? But part 2 of my bonus video, I wanted to share some of my favorite scary movies. I couldn't name all. I am an absolute avid lover of horror genre. I love scary movies. I've loved scary movies since I was a kid. Since as long as I can remember, I just love being scared. I'm one of those people. So Halloween is my perfect holiday. But anyway, I'm going to start kind of separate them in different categories. So I'm going to, in no particular order, so I'm not going to rate them. And like I said, I wish I could list every single one of my favorite scary movies. It will be more than 200 movies long on a list, I'm sure. But I'm gonna try to keep it simple. So the first category is my favorite scary slash thriller movies of 2017. It. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. When I was younger, I read the book many times. Stephen King is one of my favorite authors, and it's one of my dream vacations to travel to Maine one day. But It 2017 was an awesome movie. The actors and actresses, the kids that played the parts, I hands down absolutely loved the movies. Now on the visually impaired scale, the description of the movie with audio voiceover was awesome, so I was really able to enjoy it in the theater. Another one is Get Out. More of a psychological thriller, but I absolutely love the twists and turns and the unexpected plot line that it had. So I really did enjoy that movie. Another one is Annabelle Creation. I am a huge fan of The Conjuring, and the other Annabelle movie I was really disappointed in, but this one, if you haven't seen it, check it out. They don't really rely on a lot of jump scares. Just a great, scary, ominous movie. Another really cool, quirky movie, kind of filled with humor. It's not really scary, but has some gore in it, but it's called The Bad Batch. Really cool movie, has like a post-apocalyptic type of vibe to it. Cannibalism. So if you haven't checked that out, it is on Netflix. So I really did enjoy that movie. It's kind of like funny, scary, and yeah, it's just a really unique take on the cannibalism genre. Another movie that a lot of people had mixed feelings about was with Jennifer Lawrence in Mother. A lot of biblical references, but I just love the symbolism and just, again, a unique take on a really old story. So again, if you haven't seen that, check that out too. So those are my favorite scary slash thriller movies of 2007. The next category are my favorite movies that are currently on Netflix. So you could definitely check them out now if you haven't seen any of these. The first one is Gerald's Game. Again, another take on Stephen King's novel. Kind of more about mental abuse, sexual abuse, and the demons, and just I just love the take that Netflix took with that story. Another one is It Follows. I love the vibe of the 80s it gives, and just a cool take on the zombie movie. So I really did enjoy It Follows, another one of my favorite movies. And it's based out in Michigan, in Detroit, so why not? I'm from Detroit. Love it. Another movie is Hush. I really love this movie because it stars a woman with a disability. She's deaf, and a stalker that's outside of her house trying to kill her. She can't hear him, and just the suspense. It's an awesome movie. I think it's only on Netflix, so if you haven't seen it, please check it out. A really good movie. Another movie I'm enjoying on Netflix, and the last movie that I'm enjoying on Netflix is Babadook. A great haunted, possessed, boogeyman, grief story, just all those different types of feelings, and of a mother, from a mother's perspective, and her son. A really great film. So if you haven't seen that, that's another one of my favorites that's currently on Netflix as well, so check it out. So that's it for that category. Let's move on to the next. Alright guys, now on to the next category, which are independent foreign films. So I did get a chance to experience this in the theater. It's called Goodnight Mommy. It is the weirdest film, but I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. It's about a mother and her sons, and the level of trust or lack thereof of trust, and underlying of torture and psychopathic tendencies. Yes, if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. Another one that I really enjoyed is Excuse Background Noise. That's one of my favorite other series that I'm going to mention on this video. But anyway, Train to Busan. It's an Asian film, and it's a great, bloody, gory, old school, like, horror zombie film that is isolating and just based off its setting in a train. That is on Netflix, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. These other two films are also on Netflix. It's called Raw, and it's about a young woman that is a vegetarian, and she's forced to eat meat, and because of that one thing, she turns into, like, it's kind of like a vampire, cannibalistic. It's a really cool film. I love it. It's also on Netflix. Also, another movie called Teeth. For you men out there, you might think twice before having unprotected sex with a woman, but I just love the unique stance on this film. Something extremely unexpected about a certain body part that causes a lot of damage. So that's also on Netflix. Definitely check that out. Okay, the next category is oldies but goodies. Now, I have so many films that I love in this category, but I told myself, because I was actually agonizing over it, I was like, oh, I'm going to remove this category because I just can't pick one. I said the first 5 that jump in your head, Ramasa, that's the one you're going to share in this video. And here they are. The first one is the Steven Spielberg film, Poltergeist. How can you not love this movie? The first movie about possession in a very unique world, in a very unique way of a little girl, and different dimensions, and a haunted house. If you haven't seen this gem, this beautiful, awesome, scary movie in the 80s, definitely check it out. Another one I love is Aliens. How can you not? Like, I love the whole entire series, but Aliens scared the living crap out of me. I mean, it's about aliens in outer space, and that isolation, and a woman fighting her way through and trying to survive while everybody around her is dying. Also, another great flick. The Exorcist. When I was a kid, and it scared the bejesus out of me. I finished it, but my imagination went wild. So when I was actually able to see the film, it did not disappoint. This, I can honestly say, was the first movie I saw that really translated, like, page by page, everything that was in the book. There was really no difference between the movie and the book, in my opinion. So it's about an exorcism of a little girl, and who doesn't like movies about exorcism? It's perfect Halloween scary theme. Definitely check it out. I don't think any of these movies are on Netflix though. And also, I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one. It's kind of like the first film that dabbed into the found footage, based in reality, a true story type of situation. And with that kind of lore building up to it, it makes it even more scary just thinking it could have happened, even though it probably didn't. But that's another of my favorite films as well. The next category is scary or thriller movies that featured a badass woman. The first one is called The Descent. It's a movie about a group of women who decide to go cave exploring, and these women are freaking badass. A lot of them die, but they don't go without a fight. And the last woman standing, she's the least expected one to be the strongest, but definitely one of my favorites featuring badass women. Another one is Split. This is a fairly new movie about a gentleman that has split personalities and different personalities, and one of his personalities kidnaps a group of young women, and one of these women do survive, and she uses her wits and everything that she can to get out of that situation. So this definitely falls into this category. Another movie I feel features a strong woman as the survivor is Nightmare on Elm Street. Nancy, how can we forget that? Freddy Krueger. Love what Wes Craven's creation. I love the whole entire series, but Nancy's character, she starts off vulnerable, but then she gains her strength and she defeats the monster. So one of my very, very, very favorite films from since I was a kid. Another one featuring another strong woman is The Conjuring. It's a husband and wife team that are kind of like ghost hunters, and but she has like the special power to be attuned to the spirit world around her, and she's the one that brings things together and resolves the issue. So if you love a good possession, haunting movie, definitely check out The Conjuring. And also Conjuring 2, I like that film. As my list of badass women in a scary or thriller movie is Stigmata. I love this movie. I watched it with my little sister, and this is one of the movies that scares the heck out of her. Any type of movie that intertwines religion and scary possession aspects, I'm very, very drawn to. So I really love this movie. The woman, the main character, she goes through a lot, but in the end, you feel that she had salvation. So I really like that movie. Check that out if you can as well. Next category, my favorite scary or thriller TV series. So a lot of these shouldn't be a surprise. A lot of these series are, I'm sure, on a lot of people's favorite lists. But Stranger Things, I just finished season 2 and it did not disappoint at all. It has, again, the vibes of your old school 80s scary movies like the Poltergeist, Aliens, the Goonies. I mean, if you haven't seen Stranger Things, definitely binge watch it. They have 2 seasons and it's currently on Netflix now. I love that series. This next series I just got into, I'm in the 3rd season now. It's called The Walking Dead. It's based off a graphic novel, and it's about living in a world of zombies and how the survivors survive. And they're kind of like Game of Thrones. They don't play. They kill characters left and right. So I'm learning very fast and quickly not to get attached to characters because I'm probably going to die. Another one is on Netflix. It's called The Santa Clara Diet with Drew Barrymore. It has a mixture of of like kind of like Addams Family. Is like the mom turns into a zombie that has to eat live body, not live, but she has to eat human remains. So it's kind of funny, kind of gross. I don't know, it's just, but I enjoy it. Another one that I enjoy watching is called Little Evil. Hilarious. It's kind of like a funny series. Think of The Omen meets the Addams Family. It's like really funny, but anytime you have a kid that's evil, that makes it scary. Now my favorite Halloween cartoons, of course I had to have this category. The Charlie Brown's Great Pumpkin. Who doesn't love that movie? I think everybody not movie, but I think it was on a TV series or whatever. It was first shown on TV. But who doesn't love Charlie Brown's The Great Pumpkin? Come on. It's a staple. You gotta watch it. Another one that I love is Nightmare Before Christmas, of course. Jack and Sally, a love story. The Pumpkin King hijacking Santa Claus and taking over his holiday, but learning a lesson at the same time and falling in love. Great, great movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Another Tim Burton film, Corpse Bride. I love this movie. A shy young man who's been fixed up in an arranged marriage somehow proposes to a dead bride, goes in the underworld, has an adventure to try to get back to the living. So love that movie as well. Definitely check it out. And the last movie in this particular category is Coraline. I read the book again years ago, and it's a young adult book, and it's pretty unique and scary about kidnapping, not being happy in your family life and making connections and relationships to your family. It's kind of deep for a kid's book, but the movie is just, it translates so great on film. So that is on Netflix too. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out before Halloween ends. Okay guys, I have 2 more categories, and I moved to different locations in my house. I'm sure you can tell from my background, but now I'm in my office. So anyway, my favorite Tim Burton movies. Already named a couple in other categories, but I just wanted to give him his category by himself because just the way he directs and his atmosphere of his movies definitely should be in a favorite Halloween movie video. So Sleepy Hollow. One, I love Johnny Depp, and I think everybody knows the folklore of the Headless Horseman, and just the atmosphere and just how beautiful this movie is. This is definitely one of my favorites. Another one is 9. This one is not really known as well, but also an animated film by Tim Burton. And again, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Another one is Frankenweenie, also an animated film. And just the story between a boy and his dog, and the things that he has to go through with grief. I don't know, one of my favorite movies. Definitely check it out. Of course, I can't have a Tim Burton favorite list without this movie, Sweeney Todd. Again, Johnny Depp is in this particular film, and it's based off a serial killer, Barbara, which is kind of weird to say out loud, but it's a really good film, so definitely check it out. The last one in this category, but definitely not the least, is Beetlejuice. How can you not love Beetlejuice? With Lydia, the gothic sad girl, and her parents, and the 2 ghosts that live in the attic and their relationship that forms. So if for some reason you've never seen that movie, definitely check it out. It's very funny, has a little scary parts, but it's more cartoonish. So I definitely put that in a family movie category with Tim Burton, that I think you and kids of a certain age, obviously not too young, can watch and enjoy and get the jokes and laugh. So those are my favorite Tim Burton movies. And the last category is my honorable mentions. And why did they end up in my honorable mentions? Because I just cannot have a favorite film listing without even mentioning them. So this is my favorite movie that's funny. When I was a kid, I got the album on vinyl, mind you. I saw the movie a gazillion times, and anytime it comes on TV, I'm watching it. It's a guarantee. Now, I haven't seen the remake, but I'm talking about the original one in the 80s, Ghostbusters. I love this movie. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's about catching ghosts. I think everyone and their mom has seen this movie. If not, please check it out. They've made a cartoon series out of it. Video games out of it. It is like its own conglomerate now. And just recently they had a remake with all-women cast, which I haven't been able to see yet, but I always loved the original Ghostbusters. Another one that I was surprised I liked is called Cabin in the Woods. It's a very smart, snarky take on the haunted cabin in the woods, teenage kids being killed off one by one, from the stereotypical jock, the ditzy blonde, the smart virgin. So just the way that they kind of twisted that genre and made it very snarky and smart, but still scary at the same time, is very funny. I really enjoyed that movie. Another one, The Ring. Again, anytime there's a haunted evil child, the movie's going to be scary. Now, this is based off an Asian film and also an Asian book. So this about a possessed girl that crawls out of TVs and likes killing people, basically. So definitely check that out. I definitely had to mention that as well before this list was over. And the last one in this category, Jeepers Creepers, the first one. I again, that boogeyman story, being lost in a isolated town, and a monster that likes to wear skin, your skin particularly. So yeah, this definitely is a good film, so check it out too. It has a lot of jump scares. It's your basic teenage slasher movie, but you gotta have one of those on your list now and then, don't you? So I hope you guys enjoyed my picks. Let me know in the comments below what are your favorite scary movies that you're gonna be watching tonight, maybe. Until next time, guys, have a happy Halloween and a safe one. Enjoy all the candy and all the costumes and dressing up. Alrighty, bye. So this is going to be my first Saw win. I just had my first Maybon, and you'll notice it's different decorations in my office. I cleared off a lot of the leaves and the colored candles. I have the simple gourds, my book of shadows, my little cauldron, and a little pomegranate that I plan on eating November 1st once Samhain is done. I do have different crystals laid out as well. I'm also wearing my smoke quartz. I plan on wearing this necklace for the rest of the year. And the reason why I chose my smoke quartz to wear the rest of the year is because it's rooted into the earth and just dispelling all negativity. Now, I did write down a couple of things that I plan on burning of the negative things that I have. So I'm going to tear all these pieces of paper and just burn it with the sage and dispel any negative thoughts, because I want the rest of 2017 to just be filled with love and promises. And I'm going to take the time this evening to light my candles, remember the loved ones that has passed, and also remember what my goals are. On my table I have here, buy the ticket, take the ride, and I definitely live by that and believe that. Let me show you some other pieces here on in my office that I celebrated for the fall. Sally and Jack, they're permanent decorations. I'm not taking them down. On my little small table here, I got a little small glittery pumpkin, which I thought was very cute. I have my Hello Kitty. She is temporary, so once Halloween's over, she will go back in storage. On my bookshelf there, you see another small glittery pumpkin that I put up there too. And yeah, that's about it. But yeah, pretty excited, very simple, just the way I like it.